We all have things we hold onto, past regrets, toxic relationships, or that nagging sense of not enough. But what if the very act of holding on is what's keeping us stuck? The concept of letting go isn't new, it's an idea rooted in ancient wisdom. Buddhists call it non-attachment, while Stoics refer to it as acceptance of what we can't control. It's about freeing ourselves from the emotional weight that keeps us anchored in the past. But why is it so hard to let go? Neuroscience shows that our brains are wired to cling to the familiar, even if it's painful. We get trapped in feedback loops of negative thoughts because, to our brains, familiar means safe. These emotional loops create stress, anxiety, and even physical tension. The problem is, the more we try to control our circumstances or fix the past, the tighter the grip becomes. Ancient wisdom has long suggested that true freedom comes not from gaining control, but from releasing it. The paradox? In letting go, we often find exactly what we've been searching for: inner peace, clarity, and a deeper sense of self. This video will explore how neuroscience supports what these ancient traditions have been saying all along, and how you can use practical techniques to finally break free from what's holding you back. Now, let's shift gears from ancient wisdom to modern science. Why is it so crucial to let go, and what actually happens in our brains when we do? Neuroscience provides a fascinating answer. When we hold onto negative emotions, anger, guilt, resentment, our brains activate the stress response. This triggers the release of cortisol, the infamous stress hormone, which keeps us in a constant state of fight or flight. It's a survival mechanism, but when activated too often, it can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even physical ailments. But here's the kicker. The moment we consciously decide to let go, the brain starts to change. Studies show that practices like mindfulness and meditation, the very techniques rooted in ancient traditions, can actually reduce the size of the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for processing fear and anxiety. By letting go of these negative loops, we give the prefrontal cortex, the rational and problem-solving part of our brain, a chance to take control, leading to clearer thinking and better decision-making. One groundbreaking study found that people who practiced letting go techniques, like mindfulness, had lower levels of stress hormones and a greater sense of well-being. It's not just about feeling better in the moment, it's about rewiring the brain for long-term resilience. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and change. And guess what? Letting go is a powerful way to engage this process. By releasing what no longer serves us, we're essentially giving our brain the green light to rewire itself, forming new neural pathways that lead to greater happiness and emotional freedom. Ancient philosophies like Buddhism and Stoicism have always hinted at the power of letting go, but now, science is catching up. We're beginning to see that detachment isn't about being emotionless. It's about training the mind to release what weighs us down so that we can rise to our highest potential. Now that we understand the science behind letting go, let's get into the how. How can we actively release what's holding us back? Here are practical techniques that blend ancient wisdom with modern science, so you can start experiencing real transformation. First up, mindfulness meditation. This isn't just about sitting cross-legged and closing your eyes. It's about training the mind to focus on the present moment, letting go of intrusive thoughts without judgment. Studies show that regular mindfulness practice can reduce the activity in the amygdala, the fear center of the brain, while strengthening the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for clear thinking and emotional regulation. Try setting aside just 10 minutes a day. Focus on your breath, and when your mind wanders, gently bring it back without frustration. Over time, you'll notice a greater ability to let go of stressors that once consumed you. Another powerful tool is breathwork. Controlled breathing can shift our nervous system from fight or flight to a state of relaxation. Techniques like box breathing, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and pausing for 4, help to calm the mind. Scientifically, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing cortisol levels and promoting a sense of peace. Let's not forget the importance of journaling. This simple yet powerful practice can help externalize what's weighing on your mind. Write about what you're struggling to let go of, be honest and raw. Studies show that expressive writing can help reduce anxiety and clear mental blocks. When you get those thoughts out of your head and onto paper, you create a safe distance from them, allowing you to observe without attachment. One ancient technique with modern validation is visualization. This is not about daydreaming. It's a targeted practice where you imagine releasing the burdens that weigh you down. Picture yourself cutting the cords of toxic attachments, one by one. Neuroscience reveals that visualization can have a profound impact on the brain's neural pathways, creating a mental rehearsal that prepares you for real change. Lastly, there's the practice of gratitude. It might sound simple, but science shows that regularly expressing gratitude can literally change the structure of the brain. By focusing on what you're thankful for, you shift from a mindset of scarcity and anxiety to one of abundance and contentment. Keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. This shifts your focus away from what you need to let go and emphasizes what you want to invite into your life. These practices aren't about a quick fix. Letting go is a process, a muscle that needs regular exercise. Some days you'll feel like you're making progress, and other days might be a struggle. The key is to stay consistent. As you integrate these techniques, you'll notice a shift in how you respond to challenges, how you manage emotions, and how you see yourself and the world around you. So, what's the reward for all this work? What's the true impact of letting go on your emotional life? The answer is emotional freedom, a state where past baggage no longer dictates your present or your future. When you let go, you're not just reducing stress, you're creating space for something far more valuable: peace. Imagine waking up without the weight of yesterday's worries or old grudges. Studies show that people who regularly engage in letting go practices, like mindfulness and gratitude, experience less anxiety, better sleep, and improved relationships. It's like decluttering your mind, removing the unnecessary to make room for what truly matters. Take, for example, those who've successfully moved past deep-seated emotional wounds. Many describe the experience as if a heavy fog lifted, revealing a clearer sense of purpose. It's not that challenges disappear, they're just seen from a different perspective. When you release the need to control everything, life's uncertainties don't feel as threatening. You begin to trust in the flow of life, finding clarity even in chaos. One powerful story comes from a woman who struggled for years with anger toward her estranged father. Through a combination of meditation, journaling, and self-forgiveness, she let go of the resentment. What followed was remarkable. She not only reconnected with him, but she also felt a newfound lightness in her daily life. Her relationships with friends and colleagues improved, and her anxiety lessened. Neuroscientists have a term for this shift: emotional resilience. It's the ability to bounce back from adversity without getting stuck in a cycle of negative emotions. By letting go, you're rewiring your brain to be more adaptable, less reactive, and more open to new experiences. This doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you show up in the world, more present, more joyful, and more in tune with yourself and others. In a world that constantly demands more success, more possessions, more control, choosing to let go can feel radical. But it's in that very act of release that true freedom is found. You're no longer living by other people's expectations or your own outdated stories. You're free to be authentically you, and that's the real power of letting go. Letting go isn't about giving up, it's about finding freedom. Ready to release and thrive? Start with one small step.